Okay, just follow this. I'm going to move it around just easy. Yeah, it's not easy for you, is it?
No.
And I'm going to go down just a little bit. That you can do, and then going up. Nope, that doesn't work for you at all to look up. Okay, so I'm going to pause for just a second. And hi everyone, I'm Kara Lindell. I'm the founder of the Bridging Institute, and today we have Sarena. And we have something a little unusual to try to tease apart and see how we can help. What have you been through? What did they tell you?
Well, I had been in this car accident, and I was in physical therapy later on. I was told that my brain and body don't work together.
And a lot of it's related to your vision, right? Yeah. So she's not been having an easy time with a lot of visual tasks. And so we started off with looking at just how a very simple tracking exercise of her following this green peanut. And you can see when she reaches the middle, her face kind of scrunches up, and there's a transition there. It's how you're going from left side to right side and right side to left side. And we take that for granted. We learn it when we're in our first year as a baby, hopefully. And but there's a lot of things with injuries that can disrupt it. But you didn't notice this so much after the car accident. When did it really pop up?
Oh, after I had had surgery many years later.
Okay, and she had abdominal surgery, and it was laparoscopic, which is that minimally invasive. So the car accident, by the way, it was a rear end, high speed, and she was at a stoplight. She was the driver, so I'm going to stand up and talk you through what happened, but let me just go through what we're looking for. So as I check things, we're going to be looking for asymmetries, like does one side move the same as the other, which is different? And is there a nice even light flow of how movements are happening? So mostly between arms, shoulders, the core, and your head. And I suspect we're going to find some stuck because of what happened. And then that's just making it hard for your body and your visual system to work together. So then we will, after we do some problem solving, we will fluff it out a little and get all the pieces working together and retest how that tracking is able to follow. So, okay, I am going to go behind you and we're going to talk through what happens with the rear end accident. The seatbelt and the force of how you're hit have a huge impact on what's going on. And actually, sitting before I stand up, you know, the one piece of the seatbelt that we kind of forget about is the one that goes across our belly. So what do you think would have happened with that? It would have locked in place, right?
Yeah.
And if the car hit you pretty fast from behind, you're shoved against that, so it super compresses it in. Well, then what they did with the surgery a number of years later, with the laparoscopic, people don't realize that part of that surgery is actually using gas to inflate, like a balloon, your belly. So kind of two very different, one is super compressed, one is super open, and why that would impact your vision and how your body's working together, I don't know, but it seems like there's something suspect in there. Maybe we just are going to eventually need to get those layers working together better. Okay, but let's talk through the rest of that car accident, because part of what's going on is how her head and shoulders and core are working or not working together. So in the car accident with the rear end, that shoulder belt is coming across the shoulder. It's not over here. So what happens is when the car is impacted, this locks in, you're not going anywhere, but you get shoved against the seat belt. And so there's a huge force between the seat belt and your shoulder and all the tissue here. So there's muscles that are impacted, there's circulatory relationships that are impacted, lot going on. Okay, but at the other shoulder, it's a whole different story, because this one is like freewheeling. It can turn. In fact, it's almost like a whiplash, just one-sided. And so there's a very distinct pattern in the core, but then your head is left on its own, and it can be turning this way and that depending on what's going on in your shoulders. So we got what's going on across the bottom, compressed here and too much movement here, and then your left head is hanging around. Okay, I want to see how your core is moving. I'm going to go really very subtle and very gentle, but this is to the left. Okay, it doesn't move. I'm pushing to the right, it doesn't move. So that, I'm looking for matching that matches, but I'd like it to move. And then do you turn to the right? Yes. And then back to the middle, to the left? No. Okay, can you feel that? Mm-hmm. All right, and then just a forward and a back. So back and forth, really not too much movement with that either. And so that tells me a little bit what's happening at the lower part of the core, because she ought to have movement between the hip and the abdomen. Well, let's just see what's going on with your head, just very lightly. I'm going to the left, doesn't move, to the right, doesn't move. Okay, so that's centered. And you turn, no, and forward and back, no. Oh, Sarena, your head matches. It just doesn't move. Okay, I do want to check some of the usual things that we look at laying down, but I want to do that second. I'm going to use our little green peanut, put a little compression at her shoulder, and just to get this shoulder relationship fluffed out from all the compression that it had. And we may do a tiny bit with your abdomen to replicate the seatbelt compression. Okay, you can feel what I'm doing. It's just a tiny, light little vibration. And then your shoulder blade starts to move, which is great. I'm going to do a little bit more. And so there's so much compact. Oh, guess what I felt start to move? Your arm. It's almost as this started to relax that the arm itself could just be more freely moving. So let's see how some wings are moving. Good. Good. It's funny, the right one actually feels stiffer than the left right now. And so did the physical therapist have any ideas for you about how to connect your vision and your body?
Vision therapy.
Okay. And did you do that?
I did.
Okay, and I guess we can see it may have helped some, but there's still more.
Yeah.
Oh, look, you're starting to move through your core. And turning right, and now there's some turning left. Okay, we're going to come back to this left shoulder because it is actually opening up quite a bit of that movement in your core. And what I'm doing is using my hand on the backside, making a little sandwich, and just matching up the front and the back. And do you feel that rocking back and forth? Yeah. And I'm going to turn a little bit. And a little bit more. There we go. Okay, let's see how both shoulders are moving. Yay. And core, turn, and oh, we have turning now. Let's see if your head is moving now. Left and right and turning, left, turning right, going back, going forward. How about it? And I think right now, Sarena, I want you to lay down. We're going to just check real quick what's going on with your core, because that is a significant piece. And so I'm just going to do a quick with legs. Good. Left is a little bit stiffer than the right, but overall not too bad. Your poor head, it looks like it needs some support. So I'm going to just put this guy under here. And is that more comfortable?
Yes.
Oh, but your neck just wants to hang off to the right. Do you want me to adjust this, or you can adjust it? Because I want your head more comfortable.
I think it's okay.
Okay. And let's see what's going on with that arm. Okay. Oops. And this one. Still very tight. So we're going to just a little bit more wiggle here and try to get this whole upper shoulder kind of opened up a little bit more. And then we're going to check the core. There, that's better. I'm going to grab an arm and a leg. I'm going to turn you a tiny bit toward me. Okay, that side turns. That's very nice. I'm going to come around and, oh goodness, your left leg is really heavy to lift. So just the whole surgery was down in the abdomen. I'm just going to give it some support. And with your leg, I'm going to see if some support through the middle where the surgery was, if that lets the muscles connecting your leg relax so that your leg can start moving again. So part of what I'm doing with this orange peanut is just a really light compression. So it kind of holds on to all of your abdominal muscles and just get them moving and regrouped together, because one of the things that we've commonly find with the laparoscopic surgeries is that all those various layers of the abdomen are just so separated that they don't always go back in working order together. So just kind of doing a really gentle rock back and forth. And so I can actually lift her leg now and move it around. And you don't have to help. Feel it moving better now? Or it's moving more? Yeah. I'd like it to bend more easily, almost. There. Okay, and we're going to do this one just to double check it. Gosh, this one is so easy. I should have started with this one. My normal rule is follow what works the best. And I didn't follow my own rule. Goodness. Okay, we're going to put that one down and then back to this one. Don't help. You know what? The right is still easier. We're going to come back to that. And I'm going to switch out and use just a light hand on her tummy. Often with the instruments in these laparoscopic surgeries, there's a directionality of how they're tunneling through and then pulling back out. So I'm going straight across here, but I suspect there was an incision at the belly button so that things would have been in an angle. So I'm going to change the support and put it on an angle and see if that changes how her legs interconnect. There. So it's moving around quite a bit better. Okay, relax. Okay, I'm going to try to check the whole side, left side, and see how it's moving together. Oh, I can pick it up and it moves. Yay! And see this side. And they seem as easy as each other, which is terrific. Okay, I'm going to go back to arms. I want them to match. So we're going to just lift this one and lift this one, and that feels very matched up. And let's see how they just move back and forth. Very nice. And I'm going to check from behind your shoulders. The right side moves, the left side moves a little bit, and that's pretty equal. And I'm going to just check head. And okay, what head does not do is go up, lift up. It really wants to tip back. Did any of your injuries have your head go backwards? Like any of the falling? Because you've had a few things over the years.
I'm just thinking I was really aware of it after surgery. So I was thinking they pushed my head.
Oh, okay. So I'm going to take this peanut off, and I'm going to put my hand there so I have much more control. And I'm going to support your neck, and we're just going to let your head go backwards. And, oh, it was really tight on one side. I wonder if they had your head kind of smushed more to one side than the other. There, that's better. Oh, and now it comes up. And it doesn't tip as far back. Your neck is a little straighter. I want you to go ahead and sit up. And, oops, all the way. And spin around. Okay, make sure you're not dizzy. Okay, good. And grab. Okay, we're gonna check the vision stuff again. Yeah, I know, deep breath. So I'm gonna step over here and so just look. Oh, good. And down. You can go up now. It could be a little bit better, but before your head, you're just everything tightened up and your eyes just really didn't want to go up. They actually are following up now, an upward direction. And it's much smoother crossing what's called midline. So I'm going to come sit next to you again. So what we're finding is that the compression at the shoulder really did lock down core and throw off how your head was moving. Something in the abdomen really was affecting more your left leg movement, and that's your base of support. So kind of what supports your whole core and your head and your vision. And so just several different factors that just don't allow it all to work together that easily. And so the surgeries, the accident, and it's smoother now. I would expect over the next week or so that it's going to be more relaxed and less stressful to you, because it's almost like we uncorked it and now it can kind of get back to working the way that it used to, because it used to work okay. Yeah. If you had had something from when you were a baby, we'd be having a whole different conversation, because it's like, okay, now it has to learn what to do, but you can just get back to what you used to do. So that's a quick recap of what we found, and really interesting example of both a rear end auto accident and the impacts it can have, coupled with some laparoscopic surgery. And but in regards to how the visual system and the body are able to talk and work together. If you liked this example, this episode, please give us a thumbs up and follow our channel so that you can get all the new episodes as they come up. If you're interested in being a guest on our show, or wanting to come in and have a session for yourself in the office, that information can be found on our website, and that information is in the show notes. And thank you for being here, and thank you for being here.
Thank you.